Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am tired. Naeem is tired. Been a lot going on these past couple days. First couple days in Virginia was at a campground, and it was just great relaxation, campfires, the things you do, and kind of enjoying that. And then the storm kind of hit. Time to get moving. Time to get everything settled up in the house. So we've been doing that for uh, the past 2 of the 4 days that we've been in here. The U-Haul truck pulled up. They came up. They got set. The driveway situation here, because we are in a neighborhood that's kind of halfway up this mountain area. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it is very hilly, and there is a steep incline to get up into the area that we've decided to move to. So, beautiful area. My backyard is just trees and um, deers and bunny rabbits, and I've been told that I can expect to see a black bear and uh, maybe a little not so friendly cat or two. So we'll see how that goes. But we're getting the stuff done, man. We're getting the stuff moved in. I need to give a shout out to a couple people, and I hate doing this because you're always going to miss somebody. But the people in Virginia who've been so great with helping us get settled by whether they stored something, particularly like a vehicle, or if they you know helped us, search for a home, and if they gave us feedback on areas and whatever, whatnot. Oh my God, the people have been phenomenal. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the support and getting us settled here, there. And then there is, my dude, my son, my guy. He is Deuce. He is a good dude, and I was blessed to coach him back in the day, and um, I we've left a lasting impression on each other. And I tell people all the time, when you meet somebody in life, it's for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And I really think that he is one of those guys that the good Lord has placed in um, Naima and I's lives for a long time. I call him my son. He's not my birth son, but I call him my son, and you'll hear me say my son quite frequently as we go through. I convinced him to come and take this Virginia journey with me as my strength and conditioning coach for my football program. So um, he's a good guy, and I appreciate him. And he worked his butt off yesterday to help me get everything in this house set up. So that's who you're kind of seeing in the video, getting that done. And then to the moving company that I called late, found them on Facebook Marketplace, called them late, last minute, and said, "Hey, got some stuff I need to be moved. Um, if you guys are able." They had a cancellation. Luckily, they showed up, and they did all the heavy lifting and all that good stuff. So appreciate that. Now I got to backtrack a little bit to my newest found daughter. I gotta tell Miss Faith, thank you. She has come through for us in a lot. Rather we, sorry about that noise here in the background. Xfinity's here installing the cable, but she showed up as well and helped and showed out, and throughout the process, again, whether it be, hey, we need a hotel here for the night, we need that the third, she's been making sure we were set up and got all that kind of stuff taken care of. So I appreciate her and looking forward to that relationship and all that great stuff that we're gonna build. So shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate it, whether it was through your prayers, through your shout outs on these messages, whether it was, a phone call, a text message, or email. A lot of you guys saw frustration in the past. Sorry about this noise again. Xfinity must be tearing up that brick wall out there. I don't know. But whether you saw frustration in video or not, and you just reached out to say, hey, we're praying for you guys. You guys, this is a moment, and you'll get through it. Everything that we knew, but it's just encouraging that you guys took the time to do that. So we appreciate that. We thank you very, very much. Naima and I are fighting to get the house set up and get everything where it needs to be because we just, again, we need that space that can be done, set, ready to go. So we're going to take care of that. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Enjoy this little journey with us. I'm sorry it ain't going to be much in the way of camping, although I do hope to get to the camper and get some of our stuff out of there. And I'll tell you guys later about an issue I have with parking and maneuvering, and also just where I'm having to store my camper in the area. Hopefully, you guys have some feedback for me there as well, as you usually do. So, uh, welcome back.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Naima, also known as Nay. You'll hear me called both depending on what video that you watch. And then of course we have my husband KB. If you're new to our channel, it's all things about just living. So it's a lot of camping, it's a lot of renovation videos because he likes to tinker with different projects. It's about being out and about and trying new areas and new spaces. And we just want y'all to come along for the ride. So yeah, so we are native Houstonians, raised in Houston, and a lot of the content that you're gonna be about places all over that we get to travel to. We love trying new things, we love meeting new people, and we're excited to have you guys along for the ride. Can't forget about the world famous Remy. So that's our dog. He's a pit bull pointer mix, and you're gonna see him here and there in a lot of the videos. He's a lot of fun. He loves to come along camping with us as we take out our fifth wheel. It's something that we've had for the past 3 years, and so you'll get to see a little bit of that and a little bit of him as he enjoys the camping life.
It's time to give them
I fit these. Okay, it's very hard as a big man to get shoes to fit you, especially like slides.
Please tell him that is not.
It's literally a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit.
Where his heel is.
It's a perfect fit.
That is not a perfect
Check.
fit. That means welcome back, everyone. We have finally started settling into the house. We still have quite a bit to do. Well, I shouldn't say quite a bit. We still have a little bit to do, you know, knickknacks, putting some stuff up, but we've made a lot of progress. So I'm super excited about that. So this morning we decided to try out a coffee shop that's in the area. Sycamore Station is the name of it. Super cute in the Salem, Virginia area. Actually not far from where we live. So I checked it out a couple of days ago, and then I brought KB back this morning. So if you come in, salted honey rosemary, super good. Very, very good. And then I also had the avocado toast, but that was short-lived. I polished that off a while back. So we are going to enjoy our coffee, enjoy the beautiful day that is today. It feels great outside. And then we're gonna get back to work. So we've got to run by the camper, get some stuff out of there, because y'all know we've lived in the camper for a few weeks. Got to get the rest of the stuff out of there and do a little bit of work, and then enjoy the rest of the day. You want to show the people Rim Dog as well? The way he turns around immediately when a camera comes his way. It's hilarious.
All right, so we headed to our storage to go pick up the final items that we left in the camper, and surprisingly, it was significantly less than what we thought we had left. This is a view of our new camp storage situation. I don't love it because I prefer the covered spot. You know, any opportunity to protect the roof is a good opportunity so that lasts as long as possible. However, in this Virginia area, I cannot find a good spot that has covered parking. So if anybody knows something I don't, please let me know so I can find that. The one main issue I have with this is the spacing. So right here in this gap, this is a whole parking spot 7. That's supposed to be a 10 by 10. But as you can see, no one can fit between me and the camper that I am parked beside. They have these little markings on the fence as guides to help you stay between these marks. That says in between these spots is a 10 by 10 spot for each particular spot. But as you can see, the RV next to me is halfway over into spot 7. And then with me trying to park in spot 8, I couldn't fit completely into spot 8 because the camper next to me, if I went over any more, he would not be able to get inside of his camper. So I left him enough spot, maybe not enough space to get his stairs down to be able to get into his camper or her camper. So this is what we're kind of dealing with here. I gotta find a better arrangement for this because I don't know about it. All right, new day back in the house and settled. Yesterday, Gary had me lifting couch into his apartment that was up 4 flights of stairs because it didn't fit in the elevator. And I'm telling you this because I want to give y'all some helpful advice. If you are over the age of 30, hire movers. Your friends do not want to lift your couch up 4 flights of stairs. But got him through it, got that done, got that taken care of, all that sweet. But the house is pretty much set up. So some knickknack stuff to put in places of where they need to go. And we have a couple things to order to come in. But for the most part, you know, we're pretty set up. We're pretty solid.
Making good progress.
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot, and that's
Sorry,
exciting.
y'all, I needed a little snack.
And Naima's going to work from home.
My new job has me working from home. So this will be different. For those of y'all who do work from home, drop a comment and kind of tell me how you structure things out. Obviously, once you have meetings and stuff like that, it's going to be what it is. But this is the first time I'll be 100% remote, aside from travel for my job. And I'm just curious as to tips and tricks on how to make sure that there's some balance. You know, sometimes when you're home for too long, you start to get that itch to like be somewhere else. And it's going to be new for me. So drop a comment and let me know how you balance it out. If you are somebody who works remote or even works hybrid, just let me know your thoughts, your tips and your tricks.
That office space you told me about is pretty cool. I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, they're called co-working spaces. And I know all cities have them, but I know there was a bunch in Houston and there was a few in Nashville. Of course, now we live somewhere else. So I have to look into that. And I won't do that right away. I want to get used to my setup here and get used to what that looks like, my day-to-day kind of being at my house. But eventually I'd love to do something like that too, or maybe a coffee shop if I don't have calls that I need privacy or whatever. But again, that all takes time. So next week I'll get the lay of the land and figure out what this new role is going to look like.
All right. So this kind of wraps up this chapter for us of the transition and our, I guess the short time we were full-time in it in our RV.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to give was some feedback and just kind of talk about, you know, what that experience was like. And I guess I could start or you can start however you want to do it.
But, up to you. I'm happy to start.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you start.
Okay.
How would you rate the experience? What did you learn? I guess let's say 3 grows and a glow.
Okay. Reminds me of a principal I had that I didn't care for. Grows and glows, but if you know, you know. Some people just stick with you and not for a good reason. I'll start with the glows. I love the aspect of being at campsites. I absolutely love being in our camper in that regard, where you can sit outside, have a fire. It's a vibe. For the most part, you're in places where people are usually either retired or they work from home, or because it's summer, are
are getting close to summer. There's just more people out and about, so I like that. Another glow I would say is that in theory it's a lot less to clean than being in a full house. I'm a bit of a tidy kind of neat freak person, so I do clean frequently, and I clean frequently in our camper, but it's a smaller footprint, so it's less in that regard that I have to do. And then I think the other glow for me was the fact that I got to get another sticker. So got to put a Virginia sticker on our camper, so that was fun. The grow aspect of it was you really feel, at least, well, let me speak for myself. I really just felt just all over the place. We had stuff in Virginia, stuff still in Tennessee, and then we're living out of our camper. We were going back and forth to Texas. And y'all have heard me say this in the other video. It just was a lot in a short span of time. And honestly, there were just several moments where I just felt kind of overstimulated. Like I didn't know which direction to go in. And for me, that's really hard, just relinquishing that level of control and understanding like everything's not going to fit neatly into a little box. That was the challenge for me. So whereas it was exciting, there was that piece where it was also like, oh man, this is a lot. And a lot of times that's, for those of you who watch the videos and you're like, man, she looks like she's got a mean mug on her face. That's just my thinking face. It really is. Like I'm a processor and I think about things. But yeah, that's what it is. Like when you're used to, and I think also this is a very extended grow, but I think also for me, it was kind of the knowing that there was a lot of stuff still to be done, in a sense of we're both starting new jobs. We're both finishing our other jobs up as well. So essentially there's crossover. And then for those of you who may be new to the channel or maybe I've never mentioned this in the videos, I'm also completing my doctoral work. So there were so many irons on the fire that you can't, like none of those things can be put out, and knowing like you got to keep going, but also not having all your stuff together. That was probably the hardest thing about being in the camper. I think if we truly were going full time and we didn't have all those other pieces of like, some of our stuff is here, some of our stuff is there, that would have been different for me. So that was a very extended grow, but that was kind of how I felt about the experience.
Yeah. And for me, I would say this. I don't think this well, let me say this first. I loved the campsites. I love the extended opportunity to go to work, come home, and just get a campfire going and be outside. Pour a drink, have my cigar, and just kind of relax. Did that a lot, and that was phenomenal. I love that aspect of it. I love the people. Again, I think the camping community is phenomenal. I think even from the campsite hosts to people just walking by to
people are just friendly.
We walk by. Yeah. It's just the camping community is great in that aspect, that they are just everybody's just there, and I don't think I've had a bad neighbor through this experience. I don't think I did, and I think everybody was very respectful. Even when we were backed up right by the bathhouse, nobody was cutting through. Yeah. All that stuff. So I appreciated all that. And then, just the easy transition and pack up to go from one campsite to another. That would be my last grow. I think that was better than what we typically have to do, go to the grocery store, pack up a bag, get that stuff to the camper, right. Take the camper out for a test run and a short trip before we take the big drives and stuff like that, make sure everything's working and all that other stuff. We didn't have to do that when you're already in it, because you're using it.
Everything's
so
broken in already.
Broken in and we have what we need, and we're just ready to get to the next spot. So that was phenomenal in that. A grow for me was that I think, and I'm probably going to say a couple of them here, but number one, we've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. We just don't have enough space in that camper. I think that
this experience proved that. We've talked about it, but this experience showed us 6'8", 5'10", and a dog that's 65 pounds. Baby, it gets tight in that camper, especially with those 3 days it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you are in each other's face.
Right. And that's what it is. It's not
Yeah.
the perfect weather days. It's the days that you need to be on the inside, the days that you can't go sit outside and have that fire, where you're not just walking in and go to bed. Because that's the part that I forgot about, especially
Right.
when I purchased a camper. When we purchased a camper, it was, you're thinking every day is going to be sunny, sunshine,
Right.
and it's just going to be this great day or days or series of days that you're getting to go through and experience. But the reality is, it's going to be wet sometimes. It's going to be too cold sometimes. It's going to be whatever. The humidity is going to be terrible. And then you're going to be forced to be, inside. And that just, again, said, man, we just need that, even though we're only two people in Remy, we need that space.
Yeah.
We need that extra seating section.
Mm-hmm.
We need that bigger living room. We need that bigger kitchen. We need that bigger refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We need a space to be able to pop open a laptop.
Yes. And
we did realize that, both of us trying to work on the couch, and we did get a bigger couch. If you haven't seen that video, check that one out. But even both of us sitting there, there's no workspace in there because we took the table out. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to put a desk in there, but two people can't sit at that desk at the same time. It's just not.
right, it's not going to work. And then even when I put the desk in there, I still got to figure out some storage situation there.
Right.
Because there's some things that we just keep in the camper.
Yeah, that we have nowhere else
We
to
have
put
nowhere else to put it because, again, we just don't have
the space.
the space to do it. And then the last thing I would say is that king bed. It's just, we got to get a king bed because all of me in that camper queen or full, whatever it is, it's not ideal. So for that time, that part made it really, really, really uncomfortable for me. And I think that just kind of solidified that. We've seen a couple things that we like. I think there's one particular model that I would go for right now today, but the reality is prices of these things are just rising.
Yeah.
And
they're not going to go down.
not going to go
That's
down.
unfortunate.
And our camper we have right now is currently financed, and we've only had it for 4 years.
4 years.
Only had it for 4 years. This summer makes 4 years.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
That's funny. This summer makes 4 years, and
registration sticker.
yeah, I do need to put that on.
I just forgot about that.
I do need to put that on. So it's fairly still new, and you're not paying down a lot of this stuff on your monthly payments because your monthly payments are low, and how many ever months I don't even remember what we did it for, but it's almost like in 4 years you didn't make a dent on it, right? So, and then they depreciate, so then you have to go factor all that. But all that to say, it's probably going to be a while unless we come off a lot of money. It's going to probably be a while before we can actually do that. But we know that we feel it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with this phase of life that we are in, I just think we're weekend warriors. I just think we're going to continue to be weekend warriors, because taking on these weekend trips, staying for a couple days, and then taking the weeks over, like 4th of July week, Thanksgiving week, a week of Christmas, even a 2-week stint. It's not terrible,
Right.
Because we've done that before, and it's been great. And I think we're just going to continue to do that rim of it. For those of you who do full-time RV, kudos to you, because our patience was tested.
Yeah, 100%.
And there is a true acclimation period. A couple of you did mention that in the comments, and we realized that very quickly. There is a time frame of just getting acclimated to it. I thought it would have been a lot more easier, a lot more simpler, but it wasn't.
And it goes to show, for those of you who full-time, like, you really have to be conscientious of how you pare stuff down. What we did was we kind of just took things that we knew we would need for those 2 weeks, like stuff to wear to work, whatever. But again, at least for me, there were several things that just not enough rhyme or reason. And then my biggest issue is books. I have several books that I needed and just no space for that. And realizing, like, just little stuff like that you just don't think is going to, in your mind, you're like, this is not going to take up much space.
But then when you're stuck in your camper, it takes up space. Another thing is also, for those of you who full time, you understand this, and I've seen several videos of people talking about it. If you're trying to work from your camper and you don't have a consistent internet connection, that is a challenge. A couple of times I was mid in Zoom calls and just completely dropped a call. And that was with a booster and whatever the technical terms are that you use, and still dropped. And so that made me realize, I'm like, that's another thing that you kind of take for granted when you go to a lot of these campgrounds, that, okay, I'm going to be able to get consistent internet. But when you're staying at state parks and like Army Corps of Engineer parks, you're not there for this technological experience. Like, you're there to enjoy it. And that was something else that I just didn't account for. So again, like Yvonne said, just kudos to those of you who do full time, because there's a lot of intentionality behind what you're doing and how you do it. And I have just tremendous respect for people, because I think in order for us to get to that point where we could truly be able to say, like, we could full time, we would really have to sit down and go through, like, what are the things that you absolutely need and what are the things that are just nice to have. And then of course we would have to have a bigger rig than what we have right now, because our couples camper is just that. It's perfect for the weekend. It's not perfect for two full-time working individuals. It's just not realistic. So, but yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys for hanging with us. We appreciate it. And we're hoping to, get out and explore Virginia a little bit. We're hoping to get out, find some great campgrounds. We already found one when we came in. That was awesome. Check that video out if you have not seen it. But we're just looking forward to find it. So all you Virginians, let me know. I don't even know. Is that what you call them? Virginians? Virginianites? Whatever you are.
I don't feel like it's Virginianites.
I don't think so either, but it sounded good, so I went with it. All of you,
or DC or Maryland, because I've been hearing there's some great stuff out there too. Yes, so if you are the East Coast folks, tap in. Let us know. Where are we going? Where are we going next?
Where we're going. I'm excited to get there. I know at some point I want to get out to Virginia Beach area, but a lot of the locals already have been saying, that's touristy, and they've named off some better places to go. But I don't know. I like the opportunity to get my toes in the sand, so I think that would be cool, something to do around 4th of July. So if
I don't like the sand, but I'll go. I will go because I know he enjoys it. Y'all know me. I like cold weather. I want to freeze and be bundled up. Yeah. I look cute in cold weather clothes. It's too hot to be outside in the sand, but I will go. So if there's a place that we could also fish, because we used to be able to do that in Texas, where we could drive up on the beach and be able to just drop our line in the water. If there's places like that around that y'all know of, let us know and give us the names, like specific names of the places.
Yeah, please do. Share those. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It definitely gives us motivation to keep going, and we're enjoying putting this content out, even when it's rough. And I know for the past couple of videos, it has not been all glitz and glamour, but we try to be honest. We try to be transparent. We try to even show the frustrating stuff. And we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to be ourselves through the process as well. So I appreciate you guys sticking with us. That's it, right?
That's all, folks.